What's going on, everybody? The original Mako back with some more Gunfire Reborn content, and today this video is probably a little bit overdue. I already have tips and tricks up for King Yan, as well as Al Bai, the bird, and the dog. So the Crown Prince, who's the OG character of the game, probably deserves a tips and tricks video as well. But before we get into that, if you guys want to see me do Gunfire Reborn runs live or play any of the other fun games that I play on stream, check out the link in the description, twitch.tv/theoriginalmako. I'm live almost every day around 8 Eastern until about anywhere between midnight and 2 a.m. So we have a lot of fun over there. Also, check the Discord link in the description if you want to chill in the Discord, chat with some really cool people in the community, as well as myself, and suggest any sort of content ideas and stuff like that. But you can also do that in the comment section. So leave a comment, like the video, and make sure to hit the subscribe button. You're not going to miss the new content. Next week, they're coming out with new weapons, new scrolls, new enemies, and they said other new content. So we're going to have a massive update next week. You better believe I'm going to be bringing you that update news as soon as it happens. So keep your eyes out for that. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and just hop in to Gunfire Reborn here. And Crown Prince, very interesting character. The first tip that I have for the Crown Prince is to pick another character. That's tip number one, and probably the most important tip that I can give you guys is to just pick another character. Unless you don't have one unlocked, or you have, a gun to your head and are being forced to play as Crown Prince, or maybe you're just trying to unlock all of the achievements in the game. Maybe that's your reason you need to win a run with Crown Prince. Well, let me tell you, the other characters are just better choices all around. But maybe there are some of you out there that really enjoy Crown Prince, or maybe you're like, I just want to win a run, be well versed in all the characters, right? So I'll give you the actual rest of the tips now. The first thing is probably the only really decent thing that Crown Prince has going for him, and that is this little number. The Hex Smoke Ascension? The Hex Smoke Ascension is one of the best ascensions in the game, I'll give it that. Not only do you decrease the amount of damage enemies are doing to you, but you're increasing the amount of damage you do to enemies, which is the best of both worlds, right? So getting this ascension, especially building it up to 2 and 3, even if you just have one tier of it, it's fantastic. It's an amazing way to keep you alive and kill things quicker, which, once again, usually you have to make a choice whether you want to be like defensive heavy or offensive heavy, and both choices are good because defensive heavy, it gives you more time to kill enemies because you're not going to be killing them as fast. But if you're offensively heavy, then you kill enemies quicker and they don't have enough time to do damage to you. With this, you get both. Enemies aren't going to be doing as much damage to you, and you're going to kill them quicker. So it's just amazing. There's nothing wrong. You always want to pick this over every other ascension when you are playing as the Crown Prince, because it's just better. It's just better than everything else, and one of the best ones in the game. And the only really good thing that the Crown Prince has going for it is this right here. Number 2, I'm going to talk about some of the other ascensions you want to be building. Elemental damage is kind of like the key theme, in my opinion, for Crown Prince. Obviously, the Crown Prince is very good at getting high damage numbers with the enhanced elemental damage and the Hex Smoke combo and Energy Blade. But the main focus, if you're just trying to win runs with Crown Prince, should be your elemental synergies, and that's where this little tree comes into play. The one most important thing to remember is that your grenades are 100% of the time, as long as you have grenades, you are going to be able to do DK damage. You always have DK with your grenades. So, getting Elemental Rage, increasing damage against enemies under Elemental Effect is always good, because if you have those grenades and you throw one down, every enemy affected by that Elemental Effect will be taking extra damage. And level 3, 120% is a massive, massive damage buff. The other main one I want to focus is the Acid Dominance, the corrosion damage increase, obviously, this could affect a weapon if you have corrosive damage on your weapon, or an inscription that has a chance to do a corrosive explosion when you kill something, or 80% chance to create a corrosive ball that tracks enemies on crit hit. But this will guaranteed to affect your run every single time because of your grenades. You always have those corrosive grenades, so this is guaranteed to be useful for you throughout your whole run, whether you switch out weapons or not. This is guaranteed to be useful. And it's last tier. The first crit hit on an enemy will create smoke, which is equivalent to an exploding smoke grenade, which is just a massive buff and a massive help. So getting that to stage 3 is really, really good. And then obviously if you're running a fire or lightning weapon, you have pyro and electro dominance. Those are also extremely useful. The extra tier on both of those is very, very good. At tier 3, like the extra thing you get with it are fantastic. So just keep your eyes out for those. You can change your energy orb to be elemental effect as well, but this isn't nearly as important as getting the elemental rage and then trying to build acid dominance predominantly, and then maybe trying to get one of these as a side upgrade. And that will jump me into my third thing here, which is the weapons you want to be looking for. The weapons you want to be looking for, it's very easy. There's no like specific ones, but you do want to be looking for elemental effect weapons. You don't, the scalpel, in my opinion, is one of the best weapons in the game, but unless you roll one that has elemental effect on it, you probably don't want to be picking it up. You want to be using, in my humble opinion, I think fire is the best way to go. With Demon Lore, Glimmering. Fire just has laser gloves, a lot of tier 1 weapons. So I think fire's the way to go, but lightning's also a pretty good combo as well. I would try to stay away from like Porcupine, Prism, stuff that does corrosive, just because your grenades already have that category handled. And elemental fusion effects are some of the strongest things in this game. So if you have corrosive grenades and then you have corrosive weapons, you're not getting that fusion effect. If you have corrosive grenades and then a fire weapon, or corrosive grenades and an electric weapon, you are getting those fusion effects, and those are very, very useful to helping you clear rooms quicker, kill things faster, and overall just a better way to increase your win percentage on the cat. The other thing with weapons, the talisman is obviously your best friend, because you can switch its elemental effect to whatever you need at whatever time you need it. So the talisman, if that's an option, almost certainly you want to take it. There are some bad inscriptions you can get and a lot better inscriptions, so make sure it's a decent roll. But the fact that you can switch between every elemental weapon or damage type is amazing, and it will be your best friend in runs with the cat. So that's it for weapons. The next thing here is scrolls. Oh, also, keep an eye out for weapons that have the inscription plus 50% damage to enemies in corrosive, because obviously your grenades are corrosive. So any weapon that has that is almost always going to be doing plus 50% damage consistently. So keep your eye out for that as well. The next thing here is scrolls. There are two that I think they're just good overall, but they're very good on the cat specifically, and ones that you're going to want to take if you see them. The first one is, I'll go with the rare, or the common one first, the normal. Elemental Torment. The plus 20% lucky shot chance against enemies affected by elemental effect. Once again, your grenades consistently have this. If you have weapons that have elemental effects, and you have ways to increase your elemental effect chance or damage, having a 20% lucky shot chance with that is just very, very good and useful. Another really good one that I kind of didn't think about until now is Decay Driver. 20% movement speed for 3 seconds when hitting an enemy under decay effect. With your grenades, that's going to be a really good combo. So these two things are going to be kind of really good options for you on the cat. And it's kind of nice because they have the same little symbol here, so just keep that in mind. And then the other one, the legendary one, is elemental weave. Elemental damage will always cause an elemental effect within 3 seconds of swapping weapons. So if you're running those elemental weapons, you swap, get some elemental damage in, swap back, get some more elemental damage in. Maybe you have a lightning and fire weapon. So you throw your grenade, you've done corrosive, you swap, you do some fire damage, and then you swap back, do some lightning damage, and all of a sudden you are just demolishing enemies with your elemental prowess on the map. And they don't have any idea what to do because they can't do anything because you are smoking them. And then the last tip that I have is, oh wait, no, I need to stay here, is more of something you need to be very careful of when playing this character. Obviously, in my opinion, the cat is the lowest tier by a good chunk in terms of the characters. But if you are going the elemental route, it can be good. And if you are going the elemental route and you have a really good elemental synergy and you come up on a gold chest and you're like, yeah, I'll take a chance to get a damage scroll, you know, maybe I'll get a legendary or a rare scroll. Are those called rares? Yeah, a legendary or a rare scroll, and it'll really complete my run. You need to be extremely cautious of anything that has a chance to give you a cursed scroll. If you don't have the evil banishing talisman, there is a cursed scroll. You probably know what I'm talking about. Elemental curse cannot inflict elemental effect anymore. That can just ruin a cat run. That can just ruin it. The other two characters, this isn't even that bad, honestly. This isn't that bad of an inscription, because with Albai, most of your damage is coming from the fact that you're dual-wielding weapons, so you get both of the weapons' damage out. On the bird, you obviously have your leap, you have your cleave, you have a lot of other ways to inflict damage. On the cat, your elemental effects are what you live on, essentially. So you need to be careful, extremely careful, more so than normal, because of this curse. And it's only a 1 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a 10% chance, but that's a pretty high percent chance. And you always, you know, if it works how my runs work, when you have a killer elemental synergy, like just bomb elemental synergy, and you are cruising through, and you're like, man, I want to try to make this a little bit better, and you take a chance, you're going to get this curse scroll. Like, you just know it. There are a lot of curse scrolls that aren't even that bad, frankly. But this is just run ruining on the cat. So just be extra cautious of curse scrolls. Anytime you come across the option, just think, you know, is it worth it? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. That's a choice you'll have to decide for your runs. So that's it for the cat tips and tricks that I have for you. Once again, I think the very first tip I started the video with is the one you need to keep in mind the most. You know, just pick another character, right? That's the best tip for the cat, is to just pick another character. Sorry to all of the people who maybe the cat is your favorite character. If it is, please tell me why. Explain. I would like to hear what you have to say on that topic. So thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know any other things in the comments you think of that are useful on the cat, or maybe I'm just not thinking about this right. So let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like the video and hit subscribe. Like I said earlier, big news coming out soon for Gunfire Reborn, a big update coming. So you'll want to be keeping an eye out for that, and I guarantee you I will be pumping out all of the new content when that update hits. So thank you everybody for watching. Check out those links in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. I love each and every one of your faces, and I will catch you guys in the next one.